Aspirants present here. Today's topic is respiratory. It is going to be a CCS session, and the faculty we have here is Dr. Varun Pushkarna, sir. He is a senior consultant internal medicine at Fortis Escortis Hospital, Amritsar. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana. Good evening, candidates. Uh, we will be discussing respiratory medicine for EDIC. It's very important because critical care revolves around respiratory medicine, and that is how actually critical care developed directly from respiratory medicine. So, just to letting you know the learning objectives for EDIC exam specifically, you should be able to interpret the blood gases, lung imaging, waveforms of the ventilator in common ICU respiratory scenarios. You should be able to differentiate between the causes of hypoxemia and ventilatory failure. Along with that, you should be able to propose initial ventilator settings and troubleshooting steps. And as now ECMO is the final penultimate ultimate destination for all the ARDS patients. So we should be the ones who are able to recognize the need for escalating the matter to ECMO and other possibilities like prone positioning. And of course, once we know how to escalate, we should be very well versed with how to de escalate also. So, may I know how many students are there, Sana?
So there are 14 to 15 students present here with us.
Great, great, great. All right.
So all the aspirants are requested. This is going to be a very interactive session as well. You can drop down the questions or queries in the chat box.
Correct, correct. Thank you. All right. So, before we venture into the full case scenarios, I'd like to have two cases with you, which are rapid fire and spot diagnosis. And I would like you guys, whoever spots them first, can please unmute your mic and reply. So, we have a case A, which is a post op laparotomy day second. Saturation is 88% on 50% FiO2. pH is 7.32, PaCO2 is 68%, 68, and PaO2 is 60, and bicarbs are 26. Chest X-ray shows bilateral basal atelectasis. Now, I need you to reply to this. What is the diagnosis along with the reason of that diagnosis? I mean, the logical cause and effect relationship. Anyone?
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I think this is post-operative atelectasis causing hypoxemic respiratory failure. The cause possibly pain management was not adequate.
So, what about the carbon dioxide?
Carbon dioxide, it's also high, yes.
So, we would like to say that this is hypercapnic.
Hypercapnic.
Yeah, this is hypercapnic respiratory failure.
Failure.
Definitely, as you said, secondary to basilar
possibly
atelectasis.
Atelectasis.
Okay. So, what would you want to do in such a case? What would you use as a remedy? So, what would be your action?
I'm going to start with pain adequate assessment, bedside assessment, possibly pain management, and then adjustment of the ventilator.
The patient is not on ventilator. Patient is not on ventilator. Patient is on oxygen mask only.
Oh, okay. So then it will be bedside assessment, physiotherapy, pain management, and maybe I'm going to start non-invasive ventilation BiPAP, and then reassessment in a blood gas in an hour or so to see How is the non-invasive working, and is it helping or not?
Great. So we would like
Yes.
to make a baseline assessment where the patient stands. If the ventilation is inappropriate, which actually looks like an inappropriate ventilation because of elevated carbon dioxide, likely due to pain. So step one is to optimize the pain control. Second is to utilize the non-invasive positive pressure ventilation. And then, of course, we would like to use some degree of PEEP to reach where to assist in recruitment of the lung. Is that clear? So this would be the logical answer for this, that this is hypercapnic respiratory failure due to atelectasis, due to residual anesthesia or opioids, and certainly due to pain also. So action is to utilize NIPPV or increase the pressure support if already on NIPPV, and of course help in recruitment. This is second case, similar but very different on the medical. This was a surgical case. This is on the medical counterpart. Patient of septic shock, intubated on ventilation, tidal volume of 480 at around 6 ml per kg body weight, PEEP of 12, FiO2 of 80%, and plateau pressure of 34 and driving pressure of 19. So, what is the problem that you see here?
Uh, I think
This
the
is
patient is having ARDS, uh, evident by high plateau pressure and requiring very high driving pressure. Though the patient on 6 ml per kg, and the PF ratio most likely will be very low. So yes, so the patient needs, I think, need to be troubleshoot. The action, I need to assess bedside again. I need the blood gas to calculate the PF ratio and assess the appropriatement of sedation and see if the patient is having desynchrony or having PCL as well. And then I will consider proning the patient plus minus desynchrony. And
before
definitely I need to,
before
yes,
that, would you
so
like to make some ventilator changes?
100% I need to, he is already on 6 mil per kg. So the appropriate settings would be supposed to be for between 4 and 6 mil per kg for like protective lung strategy. But I need to know also the PCO2 because and full ABG to know where am I with the permissive hypercapnia. So I'm not sure. So I need to know those podcasts. And from there, the options will be appropriately sedate the patient, choose the appropriate settings according to my ABG, and then I need to have appropriate PEEP, which is I need also to choose according to the facility that I have. Maybe I can use PEEP trial, can use EIT, I can use whatsoever part of inflection point, whatsoever that what tool that I have, and according to that, I'm going to adjust my ventilator and reassess the patient. If the patient is not improving, my next step will be proning, plus minus muscle relaxant or deep sedation only, and then I will take it further according to the progress of the patient.
Very nice. So we would want to get a blood gas done as the first step. Next is, once we have the blood gas in our hands, we would like to go in for ventilator changes. What would that be? That would be number one, changing the tidal volume. We can go down up to 4 ml per kg, and of course allowing the permissive hypercapnia and target PaO2, and then optimize the PEEP as far as the PaO2 is concerned. And yes, plus minus, we can perform a proning maneuver. So this patient is at a high risk of volume induced lung injury because of the high driving pressures. The target we can reduce down to 4 ml per kg, and checking the respiratory rate as far as the ABG is concerned, then we can consider prone ventilation if the PF ratios are less than 150. This was just a brief introduction as to how to approach, and you have excellently managed the the best approach that we can have, and this is how every candidate should have. Very nice. So now we would like to go in for a full CCS, and the most uh, wanted case that they always have in the CCS is severe ARDS. So the presentation is that there is a 40-year-old female previously healthy, day 5 of influenza A, and now she has progressive dyspnea. Now the patient is intubated. Initial ventilator settings were set at volume controlled ventilation, a tidal volume of 450 mLs, which is amounting to 7 mils per kg body weight, a PEEP of 8 at 100% FiO2. ABG after intubation is acidotic. It is 7.23 with PaCO2 of 55 and hypoxic at a PaO2 of 62. Chest X-ray has bilateral diffuse infiltrates. There are no wheezes present. So this is the picture that we have been given. So now the question number 1 is calculate the PF ratio if it is mild, moderate, or severe ARDS and label it as the category of ARDS. So what is the PF ratio? PF ratio is 62 divided by 1. This turns out to be 62. So this is severe ARDS. Which is the definition which defines ARDS? It is Berlin's definition. Okay, so we have severe ARDS because the PF ratios are 62. So anything less than 100 is severe ARDS. So what is the mild ARDS? What is mild ARDS? So the ARDS is basically defined by the Berlin definition. You have to remember that. So we have PF ratio, which is actually PaO2 divided by FiO2 at a PEEP of more than or equal to 5 centimeters. So mild ARDS is PF ratios 200 to 300, moderate is 100 to 200, and severe ARDS is PF ratio of less than 100. Okay. As far as the criteria paraquat injection, so that is not ARDS, that is pulmonary fibrosis. So timing of ARDS is very important. That is within 1 week of onset of the problem. For example, pneumonia, for example, septicemia. This is the first criteria. Second is the imaging. So there must be bilateral opacities on chest X-ray, which are not explained by effusion, collapse, or nodules. Third is you should understand the origin of pulmonary edema. It should not be due to cardiac failure. Very important. And fourth is PF ratios, which define the classification. Is that clear about Berlin's classification? Yes?